Let me take you back to 2014 for a second. I was 25 years old and I got laid off from my dream job at the time, hosting a show about video games. I went from the peak of my life to the scariest place that I'd ever been. Unemployed, broke, confused, and honestly, not proud of the man that I was becoming. And I thought at 25, I'd have it all figured out. And it turned out that I was really wrong. Well, by my 30th birthday, I became a millionaire. And fast forward to today, I'm living the life that I've always dreamed of. I run multiple highly profitable businesses while traveling the world, staying in great shape, and I have the freedom that I always wanted so badly. And at the end of every year, I like to sit down and think about what my year was like. And I realized 2024 was the 10-year anniversary of that terrible year, 2014. The year I got laid off, the year I felt lost and embarrassed. So this video is about that journey. I wanted to break it down into the most actionable information possible. So I'm not just giving you some AI generated script about self-development like all these other guys on social media nowadays who act like they've done it, really, but all they do is talk. I've lived it, I've earned this life, and now I want to share this knowledge with you because I don't want you to be in the same place that I was in 10 years ago, or maybe you're already there right now. I condensed this down to 7 habits. 7 habits that I built one by one, habits that turned my life around before I even hit 30. And I still use them every single day. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna share one habit, the one non-negotiable habit that unlocked my full potential. When my family moved from Brazil to the US, I was 13 years old, right? At 14, I got my first job at Domino's Pizza. And I started to learn about money management, saving, spending my own money, helping my parents. There were small lessons, but lessons that are essential for anyone who wants to be successful. But making $7 an hour at Domino's Pizza is very different from making 6 or 7 figures a year. Once my income went up, I panicked. I didn't know what to do with that money. And because I had never made real money before, and neither did my family, this was my shot, my one shot at financial freedom, and I didn't want to it up. So I started consuming as much content as I possibly could about finances. As soon as I started making 6 figures a year, which to me, by the way, was a dream come true at the time, right? I was eating audiobooks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My mom gave me the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad when I was in my early 20s. And I read it, but I had no money then, so it didn't really click back at the time. So I decided to go back to that book and start there. And then I listened to other books by the same author, Robert Kiyosaki. And man, I was hooked. I listened to Money, Master of Game by Tony Robbins, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. I got into self-development books like The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday, Who Not How by Dan Sullivan, 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson, and a ton of other books that would help me become not just better with my finances, but truly become a better man. I was just so happy to have access to these incredibly smart people who were showing me the way through their books, and it was like having a cheat code. I would listen while I was driving, at the gym, or I'd go for a walk and listen to those audiobooks. And then here's the best part. Nowadays, you have a million more resources than I did when I started. This is the podcast era. You can listen to billionaires who share their knowledge in the All In podcast. You have My First Million, the Tim Ferriss Show, the Ramsey Show. And like I said, I want you to, by the end of this video, to know exactly what you have to do. And the first step that I want you to take starting today is this. Replace 1 hour of entertainment every single day with 1 hour of educational content. And you're gonna start with topics that interest you specifically. So finances, fitness, business, relationships, whatever you're into. And I've given you a bunch of recommendations already, but I'm gonna list even more for you in the description of this video. So check them out at the end because there was one more added benefit to going through all of this educational content that I didn't realize at the time, but it was life-changing on its own. I mentioned earlier on that my family immigrated from Brazil to the US when I was 13. So my native language is actually Portuguese, and I speak Portuguese with my family, with my friends in Brazil. I had to work really hard to learn English, to lose my heavy accent, and it made me realize there's a correlation between how well you communicate and how well you do in life. And it's not black and white. Of course, you see exceptions like Elon Musk, for example, who is known for not being the best at communicating, right, when he's speaking in front of a crowd. But typically, if you're well-spoken, if you can express your thoughts properly, if you're eloquent, you're gonna do better in life. And when I was younger, I underestimated the power of communication. I thought being a nice guy was enough. But I realized this, your ability to communicate determines how far you're gonna go, whether it's in relationships, business, or life in general. And that's because communication isn't just about talking, it's about connecting. The better you communicate, the better your life will be. And those audiobooks, they really helped my vocabulary. So I was double dipping. I was learning about the topics inside the audiobooks, and I was learning how to express myself with confidence. But there was one thing I did, again, unintentionally, that massively helped my English and my communication skills. And you're looking at it right now. When I started posting YouTube videos, they were all in Portuguese. Once I switched over to English, it was kind of like trial by fire. It made me realize that my English needed some serious work. I had to reshoot things over and over again because of my accent, because I didn't have the right words to express my thoughts, and I didn't have the confidence in myself. And now, thousands of videos later, put me in front of a million people, give me the microphone, and I'll figure it out. You know, I might get the butterflies and the mic might be a little shaky at first, but then I know that I can do it because I've practiced right here over and over and over again. So here's your next step. To become a better communicator, you're gonna do this by practicing active listening. That's number one. Truly listening instead of just zoning out and waiting to respond to someone. Pay attention to what they're saying. When you're speaking, slow it down. People might think that good communicators are the ones who speak really fast, but that's not true. Take your time. Maintain eye contact while you do it. And the best thing that you can do is grab your phone and record yourself speaking, whether it's in a meeting, practicing a pitch, or even just talking about your day. You're probably gonna hate the way that you sound or the way that you look or move, but it doesn't matter because that's the point. You're gonna see a lot of things that need improvement, which means now you know exactly what you have to work on. Are you able to maintain eye contact with your phone camera? Because if you can't even do it with your phone, it's gonna be really hard to do it when you're talking to an actual person. Do you look uncomfortable? Are you moving your hands around too much? These are all things that you can notice and improve upon immediately. Because the thing is, a lot of people nowadays are stuck in this virtual world, right? And not in the real world. And what ends up happening is they consume all day, but they never actually talk or express themselves. And I know expressing yourself isn't easy, but we all have something unique, something personal that we can share with the world. You just have to know yourself well enough to know what is this thing that I can share with the world? What can the world learn from me? Who are you? What are your values? And a good way to find out is to talk to a professional, someone who understands people, who can help you organize your head, your thoughts, the same way that you organize your computer hard drive or your desktop folder. Our sponsor, BetterHelp, can connect you to a professional so you can organize your mind and help you answer any questions about yourself. They offer therapists specialized in any area that you need help with. You should look at therapy like a coaching session. Like you're learning about yourself, why you act a certain way, why you get mad in certain situations, why you're socially shy or anxious, why you have a hard time asking for help or communicating with your girlfriend. That's why therapy is so good. It gives people a safe space to talk about these things that, let's be honest, men don't really share. It's not something that we tend to talk about, not even with our closest friends. You sign up online, they match you with the therapist according to your needs, and then you can schedule sessions as a phone call, a video chat, or even messaging if you prefer that, so you don't have to go in person. It's obviously discreet and it's on your schedule. Your therapist is just another person who is on your side, your team, helping you become a better man. Thinking about it that way makes it a lot easier to understand why therapy is a net positive. And again, you can always stop if you don't like it. You can swap to a different therapist if you don't like your first one, which BetterHelp offers free of charge if you're not happy with yours for whatever reason. So click that first link in my description. It's betterhelp.com/AlexCosta, and you even get a discount on your first month. Oh, and something else that happened in this new digital era that we're living in. People forgot how to dress, right? In 2020, we went from dressing up, going out into the world, right? Going into the office to dressing down in sweatpants and hoodies and baggy clothing. And even hairstyles went from sharp and professional to looking messy on purpose. The fluffy hairstyle is the actual name of this hairstyle. Back in the day, I used to also think that fashion didn't matter, that dressing well was superficial, but I was obviously wrong. Here's what I learned. Your style is your silent introduction, right? It's the first thing that people notice about you. Whether you like it or not, you don't really have a choice. Humans are gonna judge you by your looks in a split second, the moment they lay eyes on you. When I started dressing well, something changed. It wasn't just about impressing other people. That's great and all, but that was just a bonus. Dressing well gave me confidence, and I felt that confidence in every aspect of my life. When you look good, you feel good. It's that simple. It's the backbone of my entire YouTube channel and my online content. Dressing well earned me respect. People started taking me more seriously, both professionally and socially. That's why it's so important. That's why I talk about it so much here. A lesson I want you to take from this is that your appearance isn't about vanity, it's about self-respect and projecting the best version of yourself to the world. And that's why step 3 is to take the next 30 days to improve the way that you look. Watch some of my fashion videos, or honestly, anyone else who you relate to their style. Change up your haircut. Make sure that you feel good about the way that you look. Now, let's talk about practicality. How can you start dressing better without feeling overwhelmed, right? First, focus on the basics. I recommend building a wardrobe of timeless essentials: polos, trousers, high quality jackets, nice footwear like loafers or sneakers. Avoid trendy items that are gonna feel outdated in 6 months, and instead invest in high quality pieces that look sharp, that stand the test of time. And if you're not sure where to start, I got a ton of fashion videos on this channel to break it down for you. Second, don't underestimate the power of grooming. A great haircut, nice facial hair, and clean, healthy skin, that's gonna elevate any outfit. Just think of your grooming routine as your finishing touch, right, to your look. It's what makes everything come together. And if you want to take it up a notch, make sure that you're wearing an amazing fragrance like the Forte series Protagonist. Smelling great is just as important as looking great. Now, make sure that you're not just blowing all your money on clothes, all right, especially trendy clothes. Blowing money on things that you don't need is a horrible habit, and you have to learn to control the urge as much as possible. Because otherwise what's gonna happen is you're gonna dig a hole that you can't get out of. If you can't control your money, you can't control your life. I thankfully learned this lesson really early in my life because I was poor. So any money that I had was really important to me. I would save it. I'd be really careful with it, right? It was like so important to me. Because if I wanted to buy a hoodie that cost me 50 bucks, I would have to work 8 hours to afford it. So having those low paying jobs early on in my life, they taught me a lot about money. They taught me the value of money. It taught me to appreciate the very little money that I made, and it made me stop and think about my spending habits. I started tracking my money when I was 14 years old, right? How much I was getting paid, my expenses, my savings. I would sit and plan out how long it would take me to buy my first car. Then I would budget, put money into a car fund. And in 2 years, when I turned 16 years old, I was finally able to achieve my dream and buy my first car. A green 1995 VW Jetta. Standard transmission, of course. It cost me $2,000, and I felt on top of the world driving that car. All the budgeting, the saving, the tracking my finances finally paid off. So if you ever want to be successful in this world that we live in, you have to understand how money works. You need to track your income, your expenses. You need to save and invest. Track every dollar that you spend. And it's really not that hard because apps like Monarch and Mint make it super easy. I didn't have these resources back in the day, so I did it manually. Now everything is automated for you. It's easy. So your next step is to set clear financial goals. And it could be to pay off your debt, to save a specific amount, to buy a property. And once you have that goal in front of you, you have to make a realistic plan to achieve it, right? So write down how much of your income is actually going towards that goal every month. Write down how long it will take you once you start. And stick to it. Don't budge once because then you're gonna budge again. Stay true to your words. Stick to your plan no matter what. It's really important that once you tell yourself that you're doing something, that you do it. And a good way to hold yourself accountable is to share your plan with someone else, a friend, a family member, or whoever, so they can help you stay accountable. And that works for your financial plan, but it's also amazing if one of your goals is to be in great shape. When I started working out, I was 16 years old. It was actually the first thing that I did when I got my Jetta. I drove to the gym and I signed up, Planet Fitness, 20 bucks a month at the time, because I had my freedom. You know, I could finally do whatever I wanted. I had a car. And so every day after school, I'd go to the gym and I was really consistent. But the secret wasn't the car. It was my best friend, Chris. Chris and I would go to the gym every day together. We held each other accountable. No matter what, we were at the gym right after school, and that taught me a big lesson about working out consistently. And I can't emphasize this enough. Working out is about so much more than just looking good. It's about discipline, mental clarity. It's about building confidence. At that time, I made fitness non-negotiable. And to this day, I show up to the gym, whether I feel like it or not. Why? Because consistency in the gym, it spills over to every aspect of my life. The gym taught me consistency and accountability, and all of that led to my growth. Sure, I like being fit, I like looking good, being healthy, having energy, but to me, going to the gym is a non-negotiable. I work out 5 to 6 days a week, no matter what, and I've been doing that since I was 16. I wanted to be really big at one point, then I wanted to be really lean. It didn't really matter. The goal was always to show up. That was it. So this next step for you is to get into a consistent workout routine, to prove it to yourself that you can, that you're strong enough, and that you have the discipline to do something for yourself every single day. Just start with a schedule that you can stick to. Could be 3 days a week, 4 days a week, that's enough. When you see that physical progress, then you start to believe that you can make progress anywhere else in your life. And if you want to maximize that physical progress, you can't just work out, right? You need to make sure that you also have a good diet. When I was in my 20s, I was living in LA and I was eating whatever cheap meal I could because I was broke, right? So frozen pasta from Trader Joe's, fast food, ramen noodles. I did what I had to do. And if you follow me for a while, you know that cooking was never really my strength. It was a running joke here on the channel for a long time. I just don't enjoy cooking. So one of the first things I did when I started making good money was figure out how to eat well, eat clean, but eat efficiently. I didn't want to waste a lot of time cooking and meal prepping if I didn't have to. So I asked a few personal trainers at my gym what was the best and most efficient way to have a good diet without wasting time. And I was willing to spend a little more to get my time back as long as the food was good. One trainer recommended that I reach out to this girl in LA who meal prepped every week and then she delivered those meals and they cost $15 per meal. I decided to give that a try and it was life-changing for me. I was eating healthy every day without having to think about it, without having to sacrifice my time. That time that I would have spent meal prepping or cooking every single day went into my work, my career. And fast forward to today, I'm still doing the same thing. I order from a place here in New York City. It's called Territory. This isn't sponsored, but I do really like their food. I can link it below if you're interested. And if it's too expensive for you, I totally get it. So here's your next step, the next habit that I want you to form. What is the best way for you to eat a healthy diet? Make it as easy as possible. Maybe it's meal prepping on Sunday, right? And then you just eat it throughout the week. Or maybe find a meal delivery place near your house. Get creative with it so that you can be consistent with your diet. That lesson of ordering prepped meals was a big one for me because it reminded me of how important time is always going to be for me. I value my time the most out of anything in my life. So it's no surprise that this next habit is incredibly important. It changed my life forever. Time will always be your most valuable resource. The one thing that you can never get back. You always hear that, right? And it's absolutely true. And I realized that early on, and I decided to become great at time management. When I was working at Google from 2015 to 2018, I learned all about their products. Search, Gmail, Nest, and there were two that really stood out to me. One was, of course, YouTube. To me, the greatest media platform in the world. But the other might be a surprise to you. Google Calendar. I became a master at managing my Google Calendar. And I'm so thankful that I had that experience because it changed everything for me. I mean, remember, at that time I was juggling a full-time job at Google, which was not easy. I was dealing with really smart people and I had to show up. I was building this YouTube channel. I was posting every single day on Instagram. I was going to the gym every day, 5 to 6 days a week at least, and I still had my personal life. I didn't have a choice but to master time management. And I used Google Calendar religiously, scheduled every minute of my day, and I prioritized any task that pushed me closer to my goals. Fast forward to today, I still live by my calendar, but I've gotten even better at managing it because I had to. I have a lot of employees, I'm running multiple businesses, still running this YouTube channel, still posting on Instagram, even more now. So there's no other way to do this besides being extremely organized with my calendar. So here's your final action step. Learn to use Google Calendar and use time blocking. Plan your day in chunks. Work, gym, learning, downtime, your social things, put it all into Google Calendar and set deadlines because this is what I learned. Your work hours actually tend to expand to fit the time that you give it. So shorten your timeline and then watch how much faster you get things done. Trust me, when you manage your time well, you get more done in one day than most people do in 1 week. And remember this, you don't need to tackle all of these habits at once. Start with one, master it, then move on to the next. Let's make this year your year. You got this.